What's good, Josh? The guy Makai. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Over here on this channel, we talk about basketball nearly every day, if not every day. So if you're new and you want to talk about basketball with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And today we're going to be talking about what I think personally the Golden State Warriors should do with that number 2 overall pick. And I think that Golden State got very, lucky that in the 1 year that they took off from being, this great dynasty, this great franchise, they managed to snag the number 2 pick. Now, there's a lot of things that Golden State could do with this pick, and I'm just here today to list off a couple of options and then just tell y'all what I think is the best option for them. So, of course, what everybody's thinking about when it comes to this Golden State number 2 pick, they can trade it for, another piece to add to this championship roster. Now, do I think they need to add another piece to really contend in the West? Honestly, I do. But do I think they can still be competitive with what they have right now? Yes, of course I do. Can they go deep in the playoffs with what they have right now? Yes, of course they can. But I don't know if they're going to be able to compete with, a team like the Lakers, for example, a team like, the Nets, for example, or a team like the Bucks, or for example, because it's like you need a great center, you need a great defense to win, the championship. Now, you got Draymond Green, Klay Thompson. You have defensive guys, but when it comes to, paint defense, can Draymond Green really stop Giannis? Can he really stop AD? Those are questions you're going to have to answer, later in the postseason. Not saying that they're going to the finals to where to see, a team like the Bucks, but especially in the Western Conference, can a guy on your team handle Anthony Davis? That should be the question that Golden State has to answer. And they could go the route of adding another wing player, another perimeter player. They could draft a guy like Bradley Beal. And a deal for Bradley Beal, I don't think it would be, too crazy. A deal for Bradley Beal, you're going to have to give that number 2 pick, obviously, to get Bradley Beal back. You might have to throw in Minnesota's pick next year. And Andrew Wiggins definitely has to go to make the money work. And do you do that trade? I don't know if that's the best thing to do, because Bradley Beal, great, amazing scorer, all-star talent, all-NBA talent, but do you really want to run a 3 pretty much guard lineup with Bradley Beal, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson? Because what would it look like? Steph Curry at the 1, Bradley Beal at the 2, and then Klay Thompson at the 3? Because the whole dynamic in Golden State is that Klay Thompson guards the best perimeter player, and then Steph Curry just takes the weakest perimeter player they have. If you get Bradley Beal, is Bradley Beal a defensive guy? No, he's not really a defensive guy like that. Is he, going to get destroyed on defense? I don't think he'll get destroyed, but he isn't some defensive stopper or something like that. So, and then Klay Thompson's going to be stuck guarding a wing player. So do you really want to mess that up just for some extra scoring? Because, obviously Bradley wouldn't average what he averaged in Washington this year. He wouldn't do that in Golden State because everybody has to get their touches. So do I think they should trade for Bradley Beal? No, I do not. The biggest name that's been connected to the Warriors, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but I think you're gonna have to let go of Klay Thompson potentially. Do I think somehow, somewhere you can convince, the Bucks to give y'all Giannis, for Andrew Wiggins, the second overall pick, Minnesota's pick, and Eric Pascal and Andrew Wiggins? If Milwaukee wants to do a complete rebuild and just start from scratch, then I think so. But, do they want to just go into it with Andrew Wiggins being the best guy, or Chris Middleton being the best guy, and then Andrew Wiggins the second guy? I don't know if that's how you want to start your rebuild with Andrew Wiggins, because, the whole NBA world has gotten to see what Andrew Wiggins is really about. And is he some terrible, horrible, bottom of the barrel player? I don't think so, but he's definitely not what people projected him to be. So, if you part with Klay Thompson, you could have Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and Giannis Antetokounmpo with Draymond. And do I think that's a championship team? Of course I do. But, the hope would be that you can trade Andrew Wiggins, Pascal, Minnesota's pick, and you can also trade the number 2 pick in order to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. But that's if the Bucks even entertain trading him. If he becomes a free agent, I don't know how they're going to free up money for that, but we'll just have to see in the future. And another guy they can trade for, Joel Embiid. Now, this is a more, go-to move that I think that the Warriors and the 76ers should really look at, because in the 76ers, like I talked about this in the video I just did on them a couple days ago, they really are stuck in like a bad spot because Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid going forward, they're not gonna win the championship. They're not really ready, and the Joel Embiid at the time to wait for Ben Simmons to get ready, not really. And Elton Brand really messed with the whole process thing when he gave Al Horford and Tobias Harris all that money just for them to not really do much. So I think, if Golden State can somehow convince Philly to part ways with Joel Embiid for that number 2 pick, Philly can do a lot of things with that number 2 pick, and I can really start this new process that they would have to do eventually. But do I think Joel Embiid would be a great fit in Golden State? Of course I do. He provides great rim protection. He provides great floor spacing. Not great floor spacing, but he can space the floor. But do I think he'll definitely improve their chances in the West? Because then when you get Joel Embiid, you got a guy who can guard a guy like Giannis, who can guard a guy like AD, who can guard them one-on-one. You don't got to bring the help. Well, you got to bring the help for Giannis, of course, but I think he can guard AD straight up. Maybe not AD straight up, but the point is that he can guard these guys. He has a chance to guard them much more than whoever their center is right now. So I think they should definitely entertain a trade offer for Joel Embiid. And the last option for them, which is actually a bunch of options mixed into one, they can keep the pick and draft a guy and try to fit him into what they're doing right now. The most obvious choice for them, what is the position that the Warriors have been lacking in throughout their whole dynasty, throughout their whole time being relevant in the NBA? The center position. I've said it in a past video. They went from Andrew Bogut. They've had JaVale McGee. They just haven't had, the greatest centers. They've had Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney is a solid guy, but is he, some great center? No. But do I think that they should keep the pick and trade Wiseman? No, do I think they should keep the pick and draft Wiseman? Of course I do. Because I'm all for, keeping everything in-house. The number 2 pick is very valuable in the NBA. And it's not as valuable as other years, but James Wiseman, you can mold him to be a great dude. Like, he has a great frame. He's very strong. He can score inside. He's not a great floor spacer or some great, 1 through 5 defender. But I definitely think that Golden State is a place for him, because I think if he goes to a team that's really, truly at the bottom, he's not going to really, improve winning there much. But if you add him to a team like Golden State, who already has foundational pieces, I think that he has a much better chance to really show that he's, that guy, and that he's worthy of the number 2 pick. And do I think Andrew Wiggins can fit in Golden State? Yes, I do. I'm not as low on Andrew Wiggins as a lot of guys are, because, I didn't judge him, on the basis of a Kobe Bryant comparison or whoever they compared him to that was so ridiculous. And do I think, he's big? Do I think Andrew Wiggins is overpaid? Of course I do. Do I think that at the time the Minnesota Timberwolves were giving him all that money based on what he was supposed to become? Yeah, it was a mistake, and you got to live with that, but the Warriors are on that contract, so they must be fine with it. And Andrew Wiggins, he wasn't meant to be a first or second option. In Golden State, he's the 3rd option, maybe the 4th behind Draymond, but offensively, he's definitely the 3rd option. Let me take that back. So when you draft a guy like Wiseman, you got guys who, can play under Steph and Klay Thompson, where they're not the main focal point, and I think that could really help their careers, Andrew Wiggins and James Wiseman. And there's been reports that, Golden State would like to take a guy like Denny Avdija. I don't know how to say his name. But there's been reports that they would like to take a guy like that. Do I think it works, for wing depth? Because that's another problem with Golden State. They don't really have a lot of bench depth. And do I think they should, try to really fill out that bench as best as possible? Yeah. But I don't think you pass on Wiseman to take Denny. I don't really see how that works in Golden State. Denny's a great guy, a great playmaking wing. He should go top 10 in this draft, but I don't think he should go to Golden State, honestly. And, another option for them to take LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, definitely not. LaMelo Ball, does he really fit in Golden State when they have, Steph Curry? Nah, all you'll be doing is just basically wasting his talent. So you might as well just go with a guy like Wiseman. But, what's the number one thing I think Golden State should do this offseason with this number 2 pick? If I had to say it, I think they should keep it and draft James Wiseman, because I think they can mold him into a great player that's going to be great for their franchise for many years to come. And Steph Curry can clean out his career playing with a great center like that. Well, somebody who's gonna be a great center. Klay Thompson can finish his career playing with a center like that. Steve Kerr gets to mold him into a defensive center. Draymond Green gets to teach him, everything he needs to know and mold him into a great defensive big man. Because he definitely has the tools to be one. He's athletic, long arms. He definitely can be a good defensive big man. Just a good big man overall. He's fast for a big guy. And I think I'm high on James Wiseman, honestly. So that's why I think Golden State should take him. But, if they were to trade, I think the trade they should do most 100%, Joel Embiid. That's the way to go if you want to trade it. So if you want to trade the pick, go Joel Embiid. If you want to keep the pick, draft James Wiseman and don't look back. Anyway, we say to the end of this video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.